Back again.
Back again. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight with Don Powell, we are talking about Play It Loud.
Yeah, nice one. Yes.
Good record, mate.
Yeah, it's funny. I must play it. I normally play those after we've had our talk.
Yes.
But now look, I've got some good memories about that.
It's a good record. It's a favourite with a lot of people.
Is it?
Oh gosh, yeah. It's always sort of top five, probably top two. It's a different sound for you though, isn't it? It's not Slade.
Well, I think what it was then, because it was when Chas first took us into a proper studio, which is Olympic Studio in Barnes, and it was studio number 2, and they just taken charge of the new 16-track machine. I think it was the first one in the country. And we were the first band to use it. Of course, we had to use the 16 tracks to fill them up with like whatever we could do, sort of thing. And George Skians, great, he was the engineer on that, and he previously worked with Chas on some of the Hendrix stuff. What was nice, before we actually went into Olympic to do this recordings, we had a few rehearsals at a little tiny rehearsal places in London, one of the sort of, I don't think it was Denmark Street, but one of the tiny streets where they had like rehearsal studios. And Chas brought George Skians down so we could have a listen and get some idea of what we sounded like, sort of thing. But now George was a very sort of technical man.
Yeah.
Sort of very intricate with his, working of the controls, things like that. And but it was a great learning for us, And
but it's a good Slade. I mean, it's Nod's first hat, sort of, that it really became famous for the flat cap.
I think that was, he nicked that from somewhere. It was like either. It was like some place we played at, like either a working men's club or something like that. It was some gig we played at anyway.
And what had Jim done? Because the way you're looking daggers at Jim.
I don't know. We never realised it. Somebody else mentioned that, because Gerard Mankiewicz was great at sort of catching a photograph with when you weren't even posing.
Yeah.
He'd do it and say, I've got the shot. If you have a look on, I don't know what album it is, and I'm sort of scratching the side of my face,
right,
and Nod's holding Dave's knee.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that was from now, but
it's not Rogues Gallery, is it?
No. Well, I can't remember. It was before that, I think, Chris. But that was one to get it, because I was just and get it, got it. He said straight away, I've got it, I've got the shot. After you spent about 5 hours already, doing photographs.
It's a good sort of transition thing as well, isn't it? From the skinheads into the long.
Well, what it was, that as well, Chris, it was our first, when Chas said you've got to start writing your own songs.
Yeah.
That was our first go at writing, really, and I was writing lots of lyrics then.
Yeah.
And I used to go. Me and Jim used to write together.
Yeah. And did you know, on the record, the actual record, there's no song title, there's no album title.
Really?
It's just got Slade, so that it's Slade. But normally they put whatever.
Play It Loud.
Play It Loud. There's nothing on there.
I must have a look.
That's one for the fans.
I'm trying to think, but I've actually got an original one, because they're probably on the new release. They probably have put it on, but I must have a look. Now you said that, Chris, on my original copy.
It's just one of those silly little things.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the things that that people pick up on, right?
Yeah. Shall we look at the songs for the Don Powell beat combo? It's a Don Powell album, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that. I don't think H will like that.
No, I don't think anybody like that.
Yeah. But
I spoke to, when I was speaking to Frank this afternoon, I mentioned that, and he said, that'll go down well. So,
but
anyway,
no, I remember writing all that stuff, because obviously it's still at Mum and Dad's then.
Yeah.
And I used to come back from from gigs. When I say gigs, then it's a bit like pubs and stuff like that. And we just started traveling a bit, I think.
Yeah.
And when I say traveling, probably a couple of hours.
Yeah.
You
You were
know,
doing. Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah,
Raven first track.
that's the first that Raven. I did the lyrics. I, some of that kind of about about the Raven sort of like pick. I don't know where the idea came from. Because tell the truth, when they're always picking shiny things or
Yeah.
taking things. Something must have given me the idea, either or I'd seen something on TV or read
Yeah.
something or an incident about a raven taking something. It must have come from that. That's the only thing I can think of where that came from.
Did Jim and was that how it was built down? Was Jim and Jim and Nod do these actual music and
No,
you
what
do
it
the
was
lyrics?
really, all those, when you see that, it was me and Jim starting them,
Yeah.
and maybe go to not to help out, maybe with a middle eight
Yeah.
or something like that, sort of
Yeah.
thing. But me and Jim basically started them,
Yeah.
and
So it was more of a division of labour than it went on later, where
so what was that, Chris? Sorry.
it was more sort of more equal then for this one than in the later
Yeah,
albums where
yeah.
you're pitched in. Right. Next one, See Us
Serious
Here.
here. But I don't. That was another one. I think it was sort of. I think it was when we was like charging around, sort of like because
Yeah.
we was gigging non-stop then, Chris, as
Yeah.
you know. I mean, it was like see us here, see us there, see us
Yes,
everywhere.
everywhere.
You know what I mean? That's how that sort of came about. I mean, we were just working non-stop. I mean, it was basically, all in one room at a guest house, and then off to wherever, the next
Yeah.
night, sort of thing. It was great fun, though. I mean, it was really loved that. I mean, it was great having a guest house. It was all in one room. It was
Yeah.
always all in one room, but it was always great having a great breakfast in the morning. Because I mean, sort of having a proper breakfast, because
Yeah.
we never did that otherwise.
Were they the same again? Your lyrics and Jim
Yeah.
and Don?
Yeah, my lyric.
Nod?
Well, it'd be me and Jim starting the song, or I'll take the
Yeah.
lyrics to Jim,
Yeah.
because I'm totally tone deaf, and I'll be trying to sing with my ideas to him, and then maybe there's something else. I'll start to have a listen to the song,
Yeah.
and then
Did you
not.
write them down? Do you have a notebook as you were going
Yeah,
along?
I used to sit with my mum and dad writing
Yeah.
the lyrics, and then I'll take them to Jim.
You haven't still got the notebook, have you?
No, I mean it's one of those things in it, Wouldn't it be great if you had something like that? I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't even a notebook. I don't think, Chris. It was just like bits of paper, just like sheets of paper, sort of thing.
Right. Next
Yeah,
one.
there was Dapple
Firm
Road.
favorite. Firm favorite. That one.
It
The
is. It is.
fans.
Well, that actually, Charles was talking about that. It had been a single at one point.
Really? Because it
Yeah,
was the backside of Know Who You Are, wasn't, didn't it?
was it? I mean,
Yeah.
sort of, there's quite a few of quite a few of the Marley Jim
Yeah.
songs were at the early days were on the B sides.
Yeah, that was a B side, but
That
it's a
was all
fan
about.
favorite.
That was all about. I remember how it started. When I lived with mum and dad and started on behind. I mean, it's all built on now. The gypsies used to camp there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was always looking, and I always wanted a horse. I was just saying to Dad, if I get one of their horses, still, and keep it in our back garden, and like Dad said, you can't do that, I said, they won't know if I go at night time and take the horse and just put it in the back garden, sort of thing.
It's proper black country stuff, though, isn't it? Horses.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I mean,
all.
then, I mean, it was just a normal thing then.
Yeah.
It was even before the schools were built there, Chris. I mean, it was just open fields, and it was always gypsies on the fields there. Yeah, that's basically where that came from.
Yeah. Next one is Could I? It's a bread song.
So yeah, I was about to say Griffin and Roy were the two writers from Bread, and I'm trying to think where that came from. There was it might be one of the guys. There used to be a guy who was a mate of Chaz's, and I think he was a song publisher, and I think he used to work used to do a lot of stuff for like well, Andy songs out for bread and things like that, and
Yeah.
that was one of the songs that came up from him, you know. But,
It's not
yeah.
what you didn't do that one live, did you?
I was just about to say, I'm trying to think whether we ever did it live. I wouldn't have thought so, but
No,
but
it's not.
we might have done it. Was it was a bit, it's a bit off the wall for us in a way.
Yeah,
You
it's a
know,
good
so
song, but it's not
yeah,
a
it's not
Slade
like
song, is
a
it?
Slade that would. It was always difficult. We always had to try and think of a song that would fit into our particular set at the
Yeah,
time, you know. And it was
yeah,
a bit rocking, you know, really,
yeah.
you know.
One Way Hotel next.
Well, I was well, that all
Great song.
started when we used to stay at the Grantley on Shepherd's Bush, all in one room, you know, sort of thing. And that's how that came about. And when we used to travel out, when we used to stay out, which was very rare in those days, where we'd always be in share one room, you know, because
Yeah,
that's all we could afford, was like £1 a night, bed and breakfast, you know,
yeah.
sort of thing. And that's where that came from, really.
Same thing again. Your lyrics.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
were
then we
doing
have some.
well.
I can't, without listening to it, I can't remember. I can't think what that not would help out somewhere along the line, you know.
Yeah,
But basically, those would be my lyric, and then I'll take them to Jim, and then go like that, you know.
yeah.
And
Shape of Things to Come. Is this the one you didn't like? This, did you?
yeah, I mean that was all right. It was a single one. If you actually did Top of the
Yeah,
Pops,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was our
Shape of
very.
Things to
It
Come.
was, actually, it was Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil.
Yeah, on
I don't
Fontana.
what it
That's it.
was, because when we first met Chaz, we were on Fontana, and
Yeah,
um, Chaz was trying to get us off. Says, "Well, that's why they released the Beginnings album, because, like Chaz said, well, I can't stop them releasing the Beginnings album." And the
no.
same with that one, Shape of Things, you know. So I can't stop them releasing that. But we actually got Top of the Pops with Shape of Things to Come.
Where, who gave you that one? Because it was off a film.
Yeah, Wild in the
Wild in the
Street.
Streets.
Yeah, we never knew that. Somebody mentioned it. To,
Yeah,
it must have come from some publisher somewhere.
yeah.
But it
Because
was
it was a made up group. It was Max Frost and the Troopers,
is
which
that
was a made. Look, yeah,
really? What? Oh, was that the original one? Is it?
yeah, yeah. One for the fans.
I've never heard that, Chris. I'd like to hear that. I've never heard that.
So would I. I'll have to play it one day.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where that came. But as I said, he had quite a few plays, and as I said, we got Top of the Pops with this as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
which is unbelievable, really.
yeah. Good
Yeah.
good songwriters as well. Cynthia Weil and Barry Mann.
They wrote some classics. They did. Barry Mann and Cynthia Will. They really wrote some biggies at the time. You know, in their
Proper
time.
brill building, sort of put them
That's it.
together,
It was
just
that kind of
turn them
thing.
out.
It was that kind of setup, the Brill building, and
Yeah.
all like it was like Barry Mann and Cynthia Wills, like Carol King and
Carol
Jenny
King, Goffin and
it's
King.
it's all that kind. It's all that era.
Yeah.
You know. I mean,
Imagine how much money they've made without doing anything, without singing.
Exactly. Well, you imagine like Carol King, what she wrote, things like "Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow" and things like that. You know, and think of that. You know, I remember buying that album of hers, Tapestry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I mean, great songwriter. I saw a concert. It was an old concert. Well, not it was particularly old recently, but you know, you think all the songs she was singing, all classic songs. You forget what she's written. You know.
No, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right then, side 2. Know Who You Are.
Well,
it's the only one on the album that's got Dave on as a credit.
Yeah. Well, what that was, Know Who You Are, was Genesis on the Beginnings album, and Chaz really liked that. Really liked the feel of Genesis.
Yeah.
And he said, take all the sound effects off and write some lyrics to it.
Yeah.
He said, I think, and that's what I did. I wrote the lyrics to that one.
Yeah. Because that was your first Polydor 45.
Was it? Yeah. And
Polydor, nice red label.
We didn't do Top of the Pops with that anyway. We didn't do that. I'm not sure whether it really got that much play, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. It was mainly about Dave, wasn't it? And his socks and things.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if you listen to that record, there's a part where we come into like a bit of a build-up,
Yeah.
Well, Knob made a mistake, and he went hit the chord to sort of do the build up before he should have done. You had to listen
Right.
to it.
Right.
It's just a chord off note, just one chord off note, and there's like a bit of a sort of lull in the song because we all sort of were taken aback by it. Because now that ain't right, now we don't do that. We do it the next time round. If you listen, it does a chord. It was meant to come into the build up part, and it was a few bars later.
Yeah.
You know, but.
So you didn't abandon the track, you carried on with the track, and
Yeah,
even with a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, one of those things. Then we just carried on, and then we thought, well, it ain't that bad. Just leave it. You know, I mean, it's not. It doesn't really sound like a mistake. It just sounds like another part. But that's what it was. It not came in too soon. That's what it was. You know,
Right.
but yeah.
So the next one is, I remember.
Yeah, it's funny that was actually Lisa picked up on that. So it's funny how you wrote a song called "I Remember," and years later you get amnesia. I don't know where that one came from. I think there must have been something I saw on TV or something that triggered it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but it's just you and Jim on that one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So is your lyrics again?
Yeah, I was just saying again. I'll write the lyrics and take them to Jim.
Okay.
Because he'd either come to, we was still to our mums and dads then, he'd either come to our house or I'd go to his house in Cotswold, you know.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Next one, Pook Hill.
Well, that was where the photograph from the beginnings album was taken.
Yeah.
Pook Hill. And I don't know whose idea was it to write about that, but they were my lyrics. They were my lyrics again.
Yeah.
And,
it's good that, was it Dick took a shot and he got us.
That was Nod's.
It's a really good sort of lyric, though, isn't it? Sort of it sums it all up.
That was Nod's line. It was like somebody said, but he's always got to be sexual, not as Dick took a shot and he got. But,
well, that's not the way I took it. I'm just.
I basically did the lyrics to it, you know that. But yeah,
it's a place of pilgrimage now for all the fans. Pook Hill.
I can imagine. Actually, I'd like to go there as well to see what it looks like.
Next time you're over, I'll take you down there next time.
Whereabouts is it now?
Back end of Beechdale.
Oh, it is. I remember it being close to Nod.
Yeah, in between Beechdale and the motorway. It's a housing estate now, basically.
I'll tell you why as well, because they was having this photographer traveller from London, you know, to do the session, and wow, this is great. She's fantastic. When we all got dressed up to the nines, right? And as soon as we got to Pook, it's okay. Take all your tops off. So we all got dressed up and everything.
It's most of it's a housing estate now.
Is it?
I
can sort of picture it from the time.
Yeah, the neighbours must get a bit fed up of all these
kids hanging around.
Well, kids. Yes, we'll say kids. Let's be charitable.
Yeah.
Thanks for saying that. All those kids.
Yeah, but I must remember that, Chris. I'd like to go and see it again.
Yeah. Well,
nice to have some photographs taken there.
Yeah, with your top off.
Yeah.
We'll get locked up.
Yeah, Angelina.
That was great song.
Neil Innes from Bonzo Don't Do Bond.
Yeah.
You know, he wrote around that time. He's written some great songs, and
he did.
I don't know how we came to record it. Whether Chaz somebody sent sent it to Chaz and said would we be interested in doing it? You know.
Yeah.
And, it was nice.
That's it. Group. He did it with a group called The World. That's I don't know if you can see that. The World, WILD.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
I never knew because I knew he was one of Bonzo Dog, as you know, and I never realised that he was released. Otherwise, it was just one of the songs.
But he did the Ruttles as well, didn't he?
That's it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great that was.
Yeah, just the album. Never mind the film.
I never heard any of the recordings, but I mean,
you grab the Ruttles album. And he's absolutely fantastic. He just takes each Beatles song,
right?
And he writes the entire Beatles back catalogue.
That's right.
You get all the references, and it's just really good.
Yeah, I'll have to get it.
Yeah.
There's another one. I did the lyrics of that, and I'm trying to think where that could, whether it's something to do about playing cards or something like that, you know. But
Really? Is that because wasn't it about people sort of hanging? You got a load of new fans who are hanging
yeah, I
on.
think there's maybe something like that. A lot of angers on and stuff like
Yeah,
that, you know. Probably it could have possibly been like that, you know. But
yeah.
yeah, you know, I forgot about these songs and Sweetbox. Well, that's rather obvious sort of thing. What that one
Yes.
is.
I mean, again, as a kid, an innocent kid, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, it's got the knitting pattern at the beginning, hasn't it?
The what? Sorry.
The knitting pattern at the beginning. You know, you listen to it,
Yeah.
and at the beginning, there's it goes five. I've got it down. Five
Five,
shades.
four, yeah, yeah.
Five
Sorry.
shades.
What was that?
Six size cut
Yeah,
out.
no, cut out. Yeah, I don't know. I remember thinking, I've got no idea why I said that. Five shades, six side. I must have heard it from, but like you said, five
The
shades,
knitting
six side
pattern.
cut out girl. It's you're right. It's from a knitting. It wasn't written like
No,
that. But
it's rock and roll. That is. It's
that's
the
what
only
it
rock
is.
and
But
it's the
that's what
only
it
rock and
is,
roll
isn't it?
song. It's the only rock
Yeah.
and roll song with a knitting pattern in it.
Yeah. Actually, to put that, that's a great story. That
Yeah,
is.
fantastic.
A
Yeah,
great story. Actually,
yeah,
I never thought of that.
yeah,
I think we tried. Those were our hippie years as well. Trying
yeah.
to think of
Oh,
weird
right.
things.
How
But
long did it take you to record it, the whole album?
I can't remember now. It wouldn't take us very long because we were quite quick, and it was a new thing for us being in
Yeah.
a 16 track. It wouldn't have been more than. It wouldn't have been. No way would it be more than 2 weeks. You know, probably less than that. You
But
know,
that
because
must have been an
Chaz
experience.
was a great clock watcher when we were
But
in the
yeah.
studio thing, because we always used to record between 12 and 6. He always had
Oh,
this.
right, 6 hours a day.
Yeah, he
But
always had that thing. Because it was great the way he said it, though. He said, well, 12 o'clock, it's not like the crack of dawn, so you're not all half asleep. And then we finish at 6, and then you got the evening for yourself. Either go out for some chips, or you got the pictures. Because
chips.
we stand at the guest, you know, like in the guest house
Yeah.
in Shepherd's
But
Bush. There,
that
you
must have
know.
been an experience being in a studio for 2 weeks, not
Oh,
gigging.
fantastic!
You
It's
weren't
fantastic.
gigging, you weren't doing all this, you were down
No,
under.
no chance planned it so that we wouldn't be gigging, so we just concentrated in the studio. And I remember when we there was whichever song it was, we'd filled up the 16 tracks, and it was like a revelation. It was like getting
Yeah.
champagne out, and like George Skians called up the owner of the studio. We've used the 16 tracks, you know, and it was like a revelation. You know, we used 16 tracks up. But no,
But it's
it was a great experience that was
good.
recording them, you
Yeah,
know.
no, it's a great album. I say it's stood the test of time. It's a lot. It's a very popular album with loads of the
Yeah, I know.
fans.
I heard sort of a few years ago about that, Chris, about saying a lot of people still talk about playing
Yeah,
loud, you know,
yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah.
If I remember right, it didn't really sell any. You know,
Well,
it didn't.
it was one of those that just carried on, didn't it? And
Yeah,
you know, it sort of
it was released, and just that it was. It was always on release, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
It was all sort of thing, you know.
yeah.
But
But I mean, I say the cover.
that was.
It's just a great cover. Everything is just nice. It's a nice
But
album.
that was one of the Muse places in London,
Yeah,
in the West End, because Garrett had a studio in the West End, and we
yeah,
just have a walk out, you
yeah,
know. And Garrett was great. Just spend ages doing setting those shots up and things like that, and then occasionally he'd just click away without you knowing it.
yeah.
And a lot
But
of the shots, not
what
some
we
of the
were
shots
saying
he did
about
of us.
sort of the photo being a transition photo, Dave and Nod have got pumps on.
Oh,
You and Jim have still got the boots on,
yeah.
but your hair's longer, and there's no you know there's no real skinhead. It's definitely
No,
going away from the skinhead
I
thing,
think we started to
and
move away then, and
it might not be intentional, but it is very much
No,
a
no, it's not.
transitional.
I think we were starting to move away then, Chris.
Definitely,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
yeah,
great.
But it was a great transition. I mean, it was a great learning, studio learning process. That was 'cause the first time we've been in a proper studio, if you like, or a big studio, real studio as we call it.
No,
You know.
it's really good. You
Yeah.
give it a listen next when you can.
Yeah, I
So
will
you
do. I will do.
can, right.
But I remember when Know Who You Are was, as I said, was Genesis, and that was just a knock up in the studio when we did the Beginnings album.
Yeah,
And we put all the sound effects on it, obviously, to make it
yeah,
all hippie and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff, you know. But no, it was Chaz who said that. He said that's great. That you're going to put lyrics to that.
No, it's
You know,
good.
but
No,
yeah,
it's a really good one. Right, I think that brings Play It Loud to a
yeah,
close. I'm going to tell people that they need to go and look at your Facebook page. When you
right.
go on Facebook and type in Don Powell, and you'll see a nice blue icon thing, and it's all there. This will be on there
Okay,
eventually.
great,
Um, and we're working on your website, so
great.
that'll be updated.
Yeah, lovely.
And it's all official. That's all. I don't. It's more. I'm going to bang on. It's official. It's your. You approve. You. It's your what you want, isn't it, Don? It's
What
not.
was that? Sorry.
It's what you want. It's not me and somebody else doing stuff off the top of our heads, is it? It's
No,
what.
no, no. It's all gen stuff, you know, sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
all, you know, real stuff. Yeah. Now that wouldn't be right, would it? You know, sort of. It's all the gen stuff, you know, things
Yeah.
like that. And
That's good.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's
So.
good response from us as well, Chris.
So I'll plug it again. Next time you go on, Don Powell on Facebook, you'll see this and all the other ones we've done and everything, all the other
Yeah.
stuff and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Don. I'll talk to you after this.